Father in heaven is to spread the good news of Jesus Christ to this dying world so that they can be reconciled. And I'm going to let God do the rest of it. You have to let God do the rest of it. When I say let God do the rest of it, I mean you will show them love. You will show them the principles. But when we start trying to lay down rules, we get into trouble. We start requiring things of people that was never a requirement of Jesus Christ. So I ask you this morning, do you believe that Christ's word is all sufficient? That that's the only thing that they need? And if they respond to it, they'll be saved. I think we believe that. I think we believe that. But what about after that? Are we going to not only tell the gospel, but also live the gospel? Will we truly be, like Paul said, living epistles read of men, that people will look at our actions and see a different way? It's really interesting that on my job, I had corporate people here this week, and I had to fire the first person working for me. And it was really interesting because it was for performance, and it was a huge, obviously I'm building an office, but they wanted to come in and HR and do what they thought it was kind of a get to know your boss type workshop, because they thought that the people there would be afraid because I was their boss. Now, code word, they never had a black guy running stuff, so we better check and see if they're okay. That's what they wanted to do. And so I asked why. I said, you guys do this with every management team? No. Oh, am I just lucky? Nope, I'm just, don't say it. But they wanted to come in, and what I said to them was, I said, I've only been here since January. Can I have a chance with the team to do this and to see? Well, the chance they gave me was like 60 days, and it's been close to that. They came early. But what they saw was a totally different office. Because there weren't people walking around, they were now responding to me. Now, the only thing that they knew of me was that I was a minister in some place called Sandusky. That's what they knew. They knew nothing of my ability, nothing of my credentials. They just knew, and they went on YouTube to see me preach. So that's all they knew. So when I began to deal with them, I had to deal with them for who I am. I'm a child of God. So there were some things that had to be set in order immediately. They had to get to know me for who I am. Not their boss. They're my colleagues. And we work together, and everybody pulls their load, and it's a team. And we're building that team. But that's something different than what they see. They've seen things like love from me. They've seen grace from me. Those are key principles to diffuse anxiety in an office. You have to have those things. But the idea is the office that never knew me and only knew me for 60 days will come in here and kill all of you if I ask them to. I'm just kidding. But the undying faith that they already have is because of how I've been treating them. And that makes a huge difference in the world. I am demonstrating that in my job of how I treat the world, and that's what they're going to see of me. Someone that will give them respect, someone that is very fair, someone that they know they can get a fair shake from. They don't have to question or worry about my integrity. Those are important things. But the world should see us the exact same way. If something happens, you know what? They might just want a Christian to intervene. Could you imagine if they thought that? Could you imagine that in November, come election time, that they only wanted Christians to be elected officials? And Christians have that kind of reputation? But wouldn't it be great? School board, oh, we need a bunch of Christians on the school board. That's what we need. City council, oh, we need a bunch of Christians there. We need to get the Christians elected. We have to be that infectious with the love that God gave us for each other and for this world, so that they know it exists. They have to know that that kind of love exists. And John says that it's been perfected in us through Jesus Christ. Well then, that's the best kept secret on the planet. Because I don't see them knocking down our doors to say, hey, we got to get you guys in public office. Haven't heard that yet. Haven't heard them say, you know what, we got a problem here. Let's bring in some Christians to settle the problem. Because they'll fix it. That's not the reputation. You think it should be? You think that's something that we should be striving for, to be actually in everything that's possible to be in? From government, local government, schools, leaders within the community. Is that something we should be? If we want to honor and glorify God, absolutely. Then the question would be, of course, why aren't we? Why is that not our calling, that we want to take this love that is demonstrated here and give it to the world? That we want to run things because we're going to run it the way God would expect it to be. Would the world not be a better place? You guys don't believe it? Hope shook her head. Okay, that's one. Oh, Julie got a little nod from Julie. All right. Well, Linda gave you one. Just one. Okay, well, that's the lesson. The lesson is yours. I want you to think about your responsibility to the love of Jesus Christ that has been this perfect love that God has perfected in you, and what you're doing with it. What are you doing with it in the body, and what are you doing with it outside of the body? Is it truly a love worth giving? Is there such a difference in your life that you believe with all of your heart that you can change people with the love that God has demonstrated to us? If you believe that, then we have to get busy. It's not just enough anymore. We're in troubled times. It is not enough for us to live in a community and pay taxes and say, job done. We have to be involved. We talk about growing a church, and I don't know why we talk about that when we know that narrow is the way, and few are going to find that way. But nevertheless, we talk about growing a church. How do you grow a church when you're not out there? When they don't know you, when we're not participating. We talk about them taking prayer out of the schools, and we get in an uproar about that, but we aren't even in the schools ourselves. You think if the school board, the 7 people on the school board were all members of this church, that prayer would be in the school system? Do we believe that? I mean, for that to happen doesn't make it automatic. You got to have a prayer life yourself. I tell you that if we really told on ourselves, all Christians did, or those who call themselves Christians, when they worried about having prayer in school, and they were outraged, prayer should be at the house. Your own home. You shouldn't need a school to do that for you. You should be doing it at home yourself. But the outrage was, hey, it's not being done at home. It's got to be done somewhere. We need to get it back in the schools. Let's get it in your home. We need to have it there first. I'm not relying on the school to teach my kids nothing. They're going to help me grow these kids into adulthood. But the spiritual stuff, that's my job. I'll take care of that part. And we have to be that way. And our kids need to see that part of us. But we got to take it to the world. We got to take it out to the streets. And so I want you to take this message and see, do you have a love worth giving? Is the love that you possess that the way, I like the way John said it too, because it's exactly correct. This is what has been perfected in us through Jesus Christ. That's a perfect love. Is it worth giving? And if it is, how are you giving? Let us pray.